House Republicans are now pledging to hold the Biden administration accountable for the disastrous and bloody troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. Joining us right now to talk more about this is Wisconsin Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. Congressman, good morning. So nice to have you on the show.
Good morning. Good to be with you again, Rob.
I want to start with your reaction to President Biden's confusing 30-minute speech yesterday. He said, and this is a quote, he called the withdrawal from Afghanistan an extraordinary success. Take a listen.
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals. For weeks, they risked their lives to get American citizens, Afghans who helped us, citizens of our allies and partners and others on board planes and out of the country. And they did it facing a crush of enormous crowds seeking to leave the country.
Congressman, 13 people died, 13 American heroes last Thursday. I don't know if I describe this as an extraordinary success.
No, obviously what he's trying to pull off is he's trying to reframe what has happened over the last 2 weeks and shift blame. Listen, Leader McCarthy last week brought the conference together. There's a high level of frustration, not only amongst the veterans that served in Afghanistan, but kind of the rank and file members of our own conference right now. And we came to the decision that we needed to be in D.C. We needed to try and take action. I know that the leader did reach out to Speaker Pelosi in a bipartisan fashion and say, hey, let's sit down and see what Congress can do, because clearly things are being bungled again by the Biden administration. And it's just disappointing to hear, the president kind of shoot from the hip, like he did for so many years as a U.S. senator, and it's disturbing. This stuff is too serious for that.
It is. The Biden administration is calling this the end of the war, but there could be hundreds, literally hundreds of Americans still trapped behind enemy lines. According to the president, 10% wanted to get out and were unable to get out. I know that you and your colleagues are calling on the Speaker of the House to bring the House back into session to address this specific issue. Tell us about that.
Yeah, my Wisconsin delegation colleague, Mike Gallagher, has a piece of legislation that was ready to go. And what we did is we went to the floor of the House, and when the House was gaveled in, they did the prayer and the pledge, and then Congressman Gallagher attempted to be recognized, and he was simply gaveled down. This is the kind of stuff that I think really disappoints the public. That's why Congress has such poor numbers, is because this is a time for action. And we have a speaker that was more than willing to drag every member of Congress back the week before to try and tackle one of their huge fiscal packages.
Right.
Be nice. But, now there's no time for that.
I wanted to get your take, Congressman. So Nancy Pelosi, several members of the House wanted to read the 13 names of the heroes that were killed at Kabul airport last Thursday on the floor of the House in the Capitol, and Nancy Pelosi wouldn't allow that. I'm wondering, I just wanted to get your response to that. What is the motivation behind a decision like that?
The leader reached out to the Speaker's office, and all they would do is allow a moment of silence. I mean, this hardly seems like something that should be negotiated. It seems just unbelievable that they would reject it, but that was the case. They banged the gavel and literally walked out of the chamber. So it's puzzling to me. Listen, there's so many major issues with this, and I was so proud of the veterans, to be standing with the veterans on the podium behind the leader. And we've got so many leaders on this issue right now that are digging deep. And the other thing, Rob, I'll tell you, is my office, as well as every congressional office, is still being inundated with phone calls and contacts asking for our help to get people out of Afghanistan. So these numbers that they're tossing around about how many people have been left behind, multiply that by probably 3, because there's a lot of families that are still over there as well.
Congressman, just 10 seconds. I'm listening to you right now. I've had you on the show many times. We've met before. You seem This is the most shocked I've seen you. Are you stunned personally by what's gone on over the last 14 days?
I am, and it's just disheartening. We were in D.C., and there were hollow kind of comments made about the situation, the way it exists. It really is. It's been a very difficult 2 weeks for those Gold Star families,
Yeah.
and we're on the end of trying to make some good of this at this point.
Well, we appreciate the work you're doing on the Hill, sir. Thank you very much. Come back and see us soon. Thank you.